Welcome to the Raw Light Podcast. My name is Danielle Baker and thank you for being here today. Today we're going to do something a little bit different. I decided this morning, I kind of woke up and I had done one that is a very creative podcast, but I'm going to save that for another week. I decided today to do a bit of channeling because I had quite a bit of stuff come through over the last couple of weeks, and I really wanted you guys to get to know me a little bit more. So I wanted you guys to get to know me and what I do for work. For example, if someone was to come to me, like I have a few clients tonight and over the next couple of weeks, I'm taking on night clients if you are interested. I basically sit there with you and we go into your body and I check everything and then I ask what needs to channel down and channel in. Now, for people who are quite open and they know they're quite open and they know themselves quite well, this is actually makes it very, very much easier for me because you're willing to be open to what comes through and what is to be said. So today I thought that I would give you a little bit of insight on what is happening in 2024, why it's been a little bit chaotic if you feel like it's been chaotic so far, and what the rest of 2024 is going to bring. Now, also, let me be very, very clear. I don't actually show a lot of this on my social media, for one, because I just don't feel like I need to be out there basically ranting and raving about what comes through for me for the next, what are we now, 6 to 8 months of whatever's going to come through for the rest of the year. I'm very, very particular about how I speak, and I'm very, very particular about what comes through, and I want to make sure that it comes through in a very wholesome, real place before I start going and talking. So basically, because I can feel what's happening in the earth and I can feel what's happening above, I can allow two sorts of channeling to come through. One is a very grounding one, and you will realize this, and the other one is a very high vibrational place. Now, I saw something today which I really liked. If you didn't see it, go onto my story. Actually, it's probably going to be gone by the time the podcast comes out, but it's a really cool lady who channels. And I really like her and I really admire her because she channels from a very, very real, raw, authentic place. Now, she talks about cities. She talks about how when you're in a city and you become open and you come vibrationally open spiritually, all of a sudden from your heart chakra all the way up to your crown chakra becomes very open. And it feels quite dense when you first open because all of a sudden you're realizing that there's all this sort of heavy energy around you. Now, let's begin with the fact that the earth, we are put here on the earth because it's actually one of the most densest space in the universe. It is the densest planet in the universe, and only certain souls come here to learn and to grow because it's the fastest learning and growing process that you can go through is coming back to earth. Every other planet that certain souls reside on is very light and very easy to live. It is super, super light and easy. Earth is the only place that is the most densest place on earth. There is a few others, but earth is one of the biggest. That's why we come here, and that's why we come here to learn and grow. Now, having access to this is very, very powerful. Now, there's a few things happening at the moment that I feel like we should chat about. Earth is going through a massive, massive dense cleaning. And there's also, when I mean by cleaning, I just mean there's a lot of people awakening at the moment and realizing that they're wanting a different life or a different journey, a different type of job and success instead of wanting the mundane day-to-day life and basis. Now, these people are going to start to pop out of nowhere, and it's going to be quite big for this 2024. A lot of light workers are getting smashed at the moment with a lot of light. Now, when I mean light, I mean access to God. Now, when you have access to God, you have access to pure energy. You have access to pure light. And when it hits down on you, when you first get this access, it can be quite scary because your body is basically on the earth vibration and you're getting opened up into a higher, much higher dimensional vibration. And through this is a lot that kind of comes through. Now, I apologize. I had to just stop that for a second. My cat decided to jump up on the table. So from what I have been noticing and from what I have been feeling and sensing and watching on social media, it's very easy for me to read what is happening in general. So there's a real general consensus of people wanting to be spiritual and wanting to show themselves in the world to be spiritual. I've had a look at several and a lot of light worker pages, and some people are very authentic and some people are not. Some people are doing it for the fact that they've fallen into it as a healing process, which is absolutely amazing. So spirituality is supposed to be used to come back to oneness, to come back to whole, and to come back to home within yourself. It's the same for any type of religion that's out there. It's supposed to come back and bring you back to home and bring you back into your soul. So the people that go on about it and go on about how this is what you should be doing if you're spiritual, that's what you should be doing is spiritual, I don't really believe in that. I believe that you go down a path to open up your consciousness to be able to come back to wholeness and oneness within inside you. And it's really needed in the world for you to start coming back to yourself and coming back to who we are. And I've noticed that there is a trend at the moment on social media where this person can read a card, that person can connect, that person can do this, and that's fantastic because there's lots of different levels of healers and spiritual people out there that are needed, and there's other people like myself who kind of transcend and move above that, not because I think I'm better than anyone else. Now let me make that very, very clear. I do not think that at all. What I know though is my gifts and my power are a bit different above that, because I've gone through the stages of just doing cards and just doing those things, and my mind transcended them very, very quickly. It was very easy for me to just like put the cards away and move into that. And that was when I was first kind of dabbling this in my early 20s. I did an absolutely amazing course by Angel, and it helped me realize and reconnect to what my powers were. I was super ashamed, super like not ready to step into this, and she helped me be super open and super step back into it again. But I realized very quickly that cards weren't for me and that it wasn't my way to go, that my full intuition was asking me to come into myself. And it's been lots and lots of times when I've been with certain close spiritual friends and they have literally said to me you're not allowed to let people in when it comes to my stuff, because what I'm here for and my mission is very, very different to a lot of other people, and that's very sacred to me and where I'm going. And this is why it's really important to find people who are on this journey who can really take you down that authentic path. The last thing you want to do is go down with somebody who is not authentic. So going on from that, there is a lot of spiritual open people in the world, which is fantastic, but you want to make sure that you're slinking in with someone who's very authentic. And also remember, your energy at the time is going to pull in the person that you feel aligns with you. Now, you need to make sure that you're pulling it in from a place of, I'm ready to really start to look at myself and who I am, and I'm ready to start to connect into my own oneness. Now, when you want to connect in with your oneness, you're wanting to connect in with who you are, your soul, your guidance. You are wanting to connect in with you. Now, I found my oneness just before I moved back to Perth a couple of years ago when I was in Margaret River. Now, I had a very serious conversation with my mentor, and he said to me, you've got to stop looking for outside love. You've really got to stop looking for outside love. You have to become whole with yourself, Danielle. And before you become whole with yourself, you are not going to meet the person who is the love of your life, who is your soulmate, who is written here for you to walk the rest of your life with. Now, as soon as I made the conscious decision to split up with the person that I was with at the time, because it was not healthy, and I was just basically wanting to find love and be in love, which is a huge thing in this spiritual world. I always knew that I was here for a greater love, but I didn't exactly know what it was. And until my siblings met their soulmates and told me about it, then I started to realize what I was looking for. Now, I'll go into that a little bit more at another stage, how I met my partner and how it was very, very, very driven by the universe, that is for sure. So going back to it, this year is going to be full of challenges. It is going to be tough for those who are here to rise. And the reason being is because we are switching into energy that we have not felt before. There's an astrology podcast that I listened to recently, and they spoke about how we are moving into something that astrologers have never seen before energetically. And this is because we are not supposed to know. From now onwards, we are literally rewriting the path that we are now stepping into. We are now rewriting a brand new script and a brand new path. And for those of you who are listening and thinking, fuck, that makes sense, trust me, we are rewriting a historical path. Now it's up to us and our choice to be moving down the road. If you're wanting to stay stuck, that is okay. But believe me, you're going to stay stuck. And it's going to feel icky and hard because we are rewriting a new path. So if you feel like that last year was hard, this year is about rewriting yourself, rewriting a beautiful script, and literally walking into God's energy and God's path. Now, let me be clear. When I talk about God, I talk about purity of light. I talk about the highest form of light that I can connect to is God. Okay? Now, it has nothing to do for me with religion. I'm not tied to any religion, and I am not tied to any spirituality. It is oneness that we are looking for, guys. Oneness in this time and in this world and in this universe. This is what we are looking for. We are looking for oneness. We are looking for fullness within ourselves. So when I work with women, that's what we switch on, our oneness inside ourselves, that lantern and that light. And I've literally seen women walk out of my room vibrant and like their skin is illuminating because of the work that they've just done on themselves. Now, let's talk about the earth for a moment. Just give me a second on and off. I will take a couple of minutes to really connect in. Earth energy at the moment is feeling very full, but we have to be very careful about how we are going to go in the next year or two when it comes to... A lot more people will need to start connecting to the base energy chakra of the earth. So the earth basically connects you back to your wholeness and keeps you grounded, because if you open up your top chakras, you want to be able to balance up with the bottom. Otherwise, you're in your head too much and you're overthinking too much. And if this is you, then start planting yourself in the ground and being a lot more grounded, whether that is being in the ocean or finding nature, finding groundedness within yourself. If you live in a big city, just remember that it is very normal to feel slightly scattered, especially for light workers, because there is so many energies in the city, and there is always going to be light and dark. I think you guys need to remember there's always going to be light and dark, and we are not going to get rid of the dark anytime soon. We actually need it within ourselves and our body, and we also need it in this life, so we know whether we want to go down the light or the dark route. It is up to you. You get to pick light or dark. That is always up to you. You can't blame other people for sending you down the dark path if you go, but you can pull yourself out of it as well, remembering that. Spending time with more people that lift you up, spending time with people that ground you, less time flancing around and fucking around with people who don't really respect you. There's a lot happening. I'm really excited about this. There's a lot happening energetically for a lot of people. A lot of businesses are going to start to open up and fly. January, February next year is going to be pretty huge for a lot of people. It's going to be a massive reset. I think that's the Chinese New Year. This year is going to be fun as well, guys. It's not all dark, like gloomy and shifting through things, but it all depends on how you're willing to see this year. If you're willing to see this year as a brand new year where you can learn to create and let go of old karmic energetic patterns of feeling like you don't belong, or feeling like you're stuck in this world, feeling like you're the victim basically. Don't bring the victim mentality. Don't bring it here. Stop seeing yourself as a victim and start actually owning your health, your wellness. Start seeing the world as less of a challenge and more of a playground. Stop seeing the government as a problem and start seeing it as a solution. the more and more that we go down into this path, the more and more that I swear a lot of people, when they have conversations with me, they think that because I say I'm spiritual, that I believe in a lot of the conspiracy theories, and that is not the case. I don't have anything to do with that energy, and nor do I connect with it. Reason why is because I'm not bypassing people, is because I have no need to go into it. If I was going to be a politician and I needed to be well aware of what I was getting myself into, then I would go into it. But if that is not my lane and I'm going in it, I need to be very careful. You don't need to be going into those types of energies. Social media can be very, very harmful like that. Social media can be fantastic for the fact that you can expand yourself, your business and your energy, but social media can also be very dangerous. Not everything you see on there is real, okay? Not everything you see on there is real. You don't want to see these fancy things. Do you know how many people have told me, all my beautiful business friends, I've had several conversations and I've been listening to their conversations as well about how many people they've decided to get onto their course, and their course, they could do better. They've said they could do better. They don't find that it's going to uplift them. They don't find that, that it's going to be expanding them. They have literally found that they've charged them for basically something they already knew. And now they willingly went down that path, and that was a lesson for everybody. But all I'm saying is, just because someone is shiny, as in they think you can see that so many of your friends and people are going to them, does not mean they hold a higher vibration to help you lift. What you want to look for is somebody, if you're looking for somebody to help you lift and work, you want to look for somebody who can help you lift your vibration. You lift your vibration and you change your life. Dr. Joe Dispenza says that all the time, and there is a study behind that. So if you have a look at that and you don't believe me and you think this is bullshit, have a look at him. He's actually done brain studies on the fact that you change your energy, you basically change your life. And I know this because I am a prime example of, I changed my energy, I changed my life. 12 years here, guys. 12 years of working on myself and 12 years of hardship as well. There's a bit of half and half in that. I worked fucking hard to get where I am right now, and it was not easy, for the fact that I had a lot of karma from the last couple of lifetimes, because I chose the easy way out, because I was pissed off that people had dobbed me in and burnt me back in the day when I wasn't allowed to talk about this stuff that I'm talking about right now. I was only here in the 1930s. I died and then came back again. So that's a little information for you. So I've been here several times, and I can tell you now, you want to be looking for somebody to shift your energy. Energy is the way of the future. You master your energy, you master your life. I say that all the time, and I dead set mean it. Moving through your energy. Now, there's going to be a lot of people that they just don't agree. They don't see where you're coming from. They don't align with you anymore. You're going to shift and you're going to move. So then obviously you're going to have friends that are just going to drop off and not be there anymore. You're going to feel lonely. You're going to feel like you've got nothing going on. You're going to feel like you have no friends. Well, the truth is you probably don't. You probably should start making more. Now you probably think that sounds really mean, but here's the thing. If you want to start uplifting your life and you're wanting to sit in the strong energy of the world, especially this year, you got to start putting yourself out there and doing things that you definitely know you wouldn't do. Go to a yoga class. Go do that energy work class that you wanted to do. Go to a different country. Do something different to your friends. Like, there's nothing wrong with doing the normal mundane stuff. Let me make that very clear. But if you're wanting to rise and you're wanting to uplift yourself, you got to focus on where your attention goes, your energy flows. And that's not from me. That's from Dr. Joe Dispenza. He said that several times. I'm pretty sure I said his name wrong, but you get the gist. Where your attention goes, your energy flows. You have to put yourself in a strong position and make sure your energy is in a strong position to be able to flow and to be able to lift yourself back up again. Sorry, I just got a tiny bit distracted because Oakley moved around in her cot, and I'm currently doing this while she's sleeping. So just give me 1 second to connect back in. Guys, we need to start focusing more on the earth energy instead of the top energy. Once you've first started to focus on the earth energy, now you're probably wondering what earth energy is. Man, the earth energy is fun. I love it. It's one of my favorite things to do with women is play with earth energy. So basically pulling it through the ground and into the body and making people feel super solid and super grounded. So you can walk around feeling super strong and super grounded. There is some really cool things that I could tell you about the earth. There is lots of crevices and cracks within the earth that hold so much energy. And the way that I work is I can pick it up and pull it through and play with lots of different energies. Basically, think of me as a conduit for energy. So I am literally holding space for millions and millions of energy to pass through me all the time. When I do my work with my mentor, that is basically it. So when it comes to earth energy, pulling that through me and keeping me solid and grounded. This year is about grounding yourself solidly, like I said, in the new. You want to be in the new. You want to be focusing on stepping and creating your own energy with these new portals that are opening. And they're not going to be easy either. They're going to be quite challenging. Jupiter is going to throw some real heavy stuff around, and Saturn. And Neptune is now the fun one. I feel like Neptune, like I said, I'm not an astrologer, but I just pick up on energy with, I get access to energy on different planets. Now, Neptune is a really fun one. Neptune is very beautiful blue energy. If you think about Neptune, it's very cooling and grounding. And it's like a lot of winter, a lot of clearing, a lot of change, a lot of wind. That is what Neptune is about. Now, Jupiter and Pluto are going to be coming through quite a bit this year. Like I said, not an astrologist, just where I'm pulling the energy from. These energy places are going to be quite huge in a lot of people's charts as well. I would just focus on being as grounded as possible. Now, guys, I want to be very clear on this. Stop blaming the planets for all your problems though, okay? Yes, I have just said that there is going to be big shifts and big changes in the world with energy, but I'm just saying you cannot blame, and this is what I've learned over the years, you cannot blame Saturn return or something else for all your problems. You can go through big energetic shifts that can last a couple of years. You cannot have every Saturn return every fucking month and then take it out on people. That is not what we're about here. We're about learning ourselves as women the best as we possibly can so that we may be better in our life for our husbands, our children, our workplace, wherever we're going and whatever we're doing. We need to stay solid and grounded and stop playing the blame game of, well, this energy and this in my chart and that energy. That's being very ungrounded, guys. Okay, even I know that. That's 101. Yes, sometimes I check my chart, and yes, sometimes I look at stuff to know where I'm at, but I don't make excuses for my behavior. And this is the problem that we're having with spirituality at the moment. People are making excuses for behavior and not trusting in themselves and grounding in themselves. Do you know how many people over the years that I've been friends with, that I've had conversations with, and they basically have seen me as a person who is full of shit because they don't believe what I do, and I have made suggestions to them, which I should have asked, as now I've learnt over the time, I should have asked, but basically told me that I trigger them because it's bullshit what I'm saying basically, and that it's not really real, but yet they are using spirituality and saying that they are spiritual and researching all these things, but they're researching it from the wrong spot. They're not looking at themselves from within, okay? To me, oneness and spirituality comes from your inner self, your inner blossoming and inner knowledge of who you are, not from, well, on social media it said that there's a dark hole that is such and such, and there is, all the celebrities are going to kill everyone and take everyone's blood and all that stuff. There is no need to go into that. Guys, that is a lot of fear. Fear feeds fear, and fear feeds the masses, and then the masses grow and become huge, and then we have people like Putin and other people that are flown around because they feed off fear. So why are they so successful and can dominate people? Because there's fear. Why do bullies dominate people? Because there's fear. When people are feared, they take your energy, okay? Stop letting people take your energy. Stop letting people suck it from you because you're having deep fear. Now, you might not realize that you are in fear. Fear is when, for example, you have your partner is with you and all of a sudden you notice that a girl comes up and starts talking, and then you react in fear and go over there and start putting your energy out there and being real strong. Be like, well, I'm just being protective because she might be after your partner, but at the same time, why are you giving your energy away? This is the biggest thing that I've learned. Stop giving your energy away to people that don't deserve it. Fear is actually what feeds the darkness on earth. Okay, so that basically we are here to transcend the ego. So to make the ego become one with our body instead of the ego controlling us. Depression, anxiety, fear comes from your mind, right? When you allow your mind to take over yourself and your body, you have a problem. And I can say that because I've been in that when I was younger, and I can say it is one of the hardest spots to get out of. You literally have to work every single day at looking yourself in the mirror and saying, I am strong, I am powerful, let's work through this, let's do this. And then working with somebody to shift your energy so that you can shift from the state you're currently in and transcend it to a new level. Is it easy? No, it's not. Guys, it's not supposed to be fucking easy. All right? Stop thinking that everything needs to be easy. And the reason why I'm getting so passionate about it is because there's so many people are online that are saying it's supposed to be easy. It's not supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be fucking hard. And that is what this year is about. It is about working through the hardness and moving into the breeze that's coming. Got to work through the hardness. You've got to be in the depths of it to understand. You need to understand what it is that makes you really tick and understand yourself to a depth. You don't have to go into it too much where you're sitting there in a dark night in a dark room and completely closing everyone out. No, I'm talking about still going out and doing what you normally do, but coming home and really dedicating to yourself and actually putting in the work that is needed for you to shift. Gone are the days where you can easily breeze through things. You need to look at yourself and you need to shift. Stop letting those old beliefs come through. Stop letting those old fears come through. Your ego is made for one purpose and one purpose only, to protect you and yourself, right? You want to move through that so that you don't have any fear that can override you. I still have some fear some days, but it's basically I have that fear when I allow myself not to be aligned. I allow myself to be in my mind. I overthink everything. When I go back into my body, and I'm in my body and I'm like protecting myself and I'm working with myself, then I am completely and utterly in control of who I am. And this is a thing that I'm seeing at the moment a lot on social media and the news and those types of things. People are going to things and medication and lots of different things to help them to stop thinking about food and to stop thinking about, do you know what? Food is literally run by emotions. So if you keep thinking about food and you keep stress eating or those types of things, that needs to be removed. That energy needs to be removed. Okay? Here's the thing. The reason why I'm saying this is because I have literally gone through this myself and learnt about it a lot more energetically. My emotions are tied to sweet things, and every time that I would get sad or I didn't accept or go into my emotions or cry or anything like that, we have a problem, because then I start to binge eat on chocolate, and everybody has something that they do. Some people drink, some people smoke, some people take drugs, some people get tattoos. There's all these addictive situations that need to be looked at in our lives for us to be able to move forward and to really take seriously and to remove and shift our energy as best as we possibly can. So I would say for the next year to 12 months, there's a lot that is shifting and there's a lot to look at depending on where you are in your life and what you feel like needs to be worked on. You are literally the teacher in this scenario. You can literally know where you are going and what you are doing. You are the person, and you are the only person who can tell you what is happening in your body and why. Start listening, guys. Start listening. Stop putting other people's thoughts and allowing them to transcend you. That they're not your thoughts, they're not real. Drop into your body, guys. Start doing breathing. Start going out into nature. Have a shower, get into water. Guys, find what's going on within your body and within who you are and start to ask questions. All right? This normal society of life is not here for us. It has been put in place for us to basically have simple rules, because if we didn't have rules, guys, if we legit did not have rules, we would not have a very, 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 very healthy world. We need to have police and things. We need to have politicians. You got to start playing the games, guys. I've said this before, but it's got to start playing the game. Got to stop being a victim in it. Start seeing how you can invest money. Start seeing how you can get assets. There's lots of different people out there who are willing to speak about money and how to get yourself in that next level. Now, I understand that this is scary because it's not like the normal mundane, but I will say to you again, if you have a job or you have a gift or you feel like you have a gift and you're not using it to your full potential, believe in that gift and start to follow slow steps to maybe make this into more of a business for yourself. Some people belong in the 9 to 5. And that is fine. Other people don't belong in the 9 to 5. And if you feel like you're not in the 9 to 5, start looking and start asking questions. If you are in the 9 to 5, nothing wrong with that. Everybody has a place. Everybody has a purpose. Everybody is doing their job here on earth. And that's what's really, really important. Gone are the days when you can skip around though and avoid things if you are a light worker or somebody that you know is here to do more, because you're going to feel more and more uncomfortable until you start doing what you feel your purpose is here for. And there is a reason why. Because there is now a time more than ever for people to start standing up and speaking and using their voice. It is scary at the start, but then come 6 to 12 months down the track, it is like riding a bike. Sometimes in life, you have to go backwards to get thrown forwards. Okay, that is one of the greatest things that our mentor has said to one of us and shared it with all of us. Sometimes you have to swing back on a swing to leap forward. Okay, and there's a lot that you have to realize as well. So I'm going to leave it at that, guys. There's a lot to cram into that. There's a lot to think and feel about. I'm just seeing if there's anything else that needs to come through. Basically, stay strong and grounded, guys. This winter is going to be a big winter. So stay solid, stay grounded within yourselves. Also, don't be afraid if you feel like there's a shift or a change in the wind. Make sure that you flow with it, that you allow your body and yourself to flow with it. That is really important, because as soon as you stop, you don't let it flow and you don't let the energy come in to flow with you, it causes a big halt and a big block for you. And you don't want that, because then you're going to feel stuck and like you've gone back to square one. So that's it for today, guys. We're going to leave it there. I hope that this has given you a little bit of insight into yourself, 2024, and where we might be going. Like I said, I don't like to overly say what's going to happen, because there's definitely lots of different scenarios. Let's just put it that way. There's lots of different scenarios that can happen. So there isn't just one, okay? There is one plan for everybody that is plotted out, okay? Let's be clear. But if you choose to stray from it, you will get pushed back onto it. That is always the case. If you choose to go right, you're going to get pushed back on the straight. If you choose to go left, you're going to get put on the straight. Now, be very careful with this, because I feel like a lot of people get pushed left. Then they stay in relationships and jobs and things that they don't like. If you feel that way, there is always a way to put you on your straight and narrow. Just remember that, guys. So I'm going to leave that for you guys today. And I will see you next week, next Wednesday. I have a really cool podcast on creativity. I was going to launch it this week, but I had the rhythm for it the other day and then lost it, and then we ended up going to Perth. So I need to be kind of in a bit more solid space to launch that one. This one I felt like was really needed because there's a lot of people out there at the moment looking for answers and asking for what's happening and what can I do in my job and my life and why it feels so heavy right now. Also, you have the mindset to change everything as well. Remember that. You have tools out there that can help you. You just have to, like I said, find the right people. So I'm going to leave you with that today, guys. And I look forward to actually speaking to you guys next week.